fast forward. This is the 19th Congressional District. Come study it. Okay? This is where I'm going to be the first woman congresswoman representing. Yes. But I want everybody to feel comfortable before we have a little conversation. So this is a good problem to have. There's too many. Sit on the floor. It's too many people. All right. Well, welcome. First of all, I want you to give, everybody who is already involved in Women with Zephyr, please raise your hand. And everybody else cheer as loudly as possible. Thank you, Kathy, but thank you to all of you who are building this. As I'll talk about in just a minute, we are going to win because of people in this room making those personal contacts. Women are going to win the 19th district. Woo! Yes. Yes. When Senator Gillibrand, who by the way has been a huge booster and supporter from the very beginning of my campaign, and she, like we all do, want to see more than 20% of Congress being women. Yes. Yes. When we looked at our district, she won 63% in 2012. So we in this room are going to go out and find every one of those Gillibrand voters in this district. Yeah. They might sometimes vote for Republicans, that's okay, but in this race, they're going to be with us. So I'll talk about how that's so important in a second, but I just want to talk about this moment that we're in. I mean, we really are in a crisis moment in American democracy. Yeah. And an earthquake moment, like you can sort of feel the tectonic plates shifting in the country. Everybody's a little uncertain. Where are we? How's our democracy doing? Both our economy and democracy are really, really threatened right now. You know, you can feel that uncertainty. You can feel this sense of possibility at the same time, too. You know, that because questions are being raised about who we are and what we can be, there's an opportunity to build something new. So, into this moment, it is the year of the New York woman. Yes. Because this year is the year for New York women to win the presidency. Yes. And to win Congress back for Democrats. Proud to be a New York woman who is going to be, as I said before, but this is a new district, so this is important, the first woman representing the 19th Congressional District. Yes. But we need some New York women to the rescue, because what we have is a Republican candidate for president who is so deeply disrespectful of women's rights, of women's voices, and of the real struggles that women face every day. And has shown that disrespect, just for instance, in saying that you should put women in prison who've had an abortion. And then just the comments over the last few days, showing such a deep disrespect for women facing sexual harassment in the workplace. And how fundamental an issue that is for so many women, and how fundamental that issue that is for our economy. And then we have here in this district, a Republican running for Congress, who has also shown that he doesn't respect core women's issues and core women's rights. John Faso has called Roe versus Wade this essential Supreme Court decision recognizing a woman's right to her own privacy and to her own reproductive health decisions. He called Roe versus Wade a black mark on democracy. And John Faso, when he was in the assembly, before he cashed out and became a lobbyist, which is what he's been doing for the last 10 years, voted against equal pay 4 times. So made it a personal crusade to stop women from having equal pay. We're pretty different. And it's not just because I'm not a lobbyist. So when I am in Congress, I promise you, I know how messed up Congress is. I know it's broken right now. That's why I'm going there to fix it. I know how hard it is with an intransigent party that won't negotiate. I know that this is difficult. So I can't promise you the moon, but what I can promise you is that I'm going to go there every day bringing your voices to Washington. And I'm going to be fighting for equal pay and bringing your stories to bear so that people can't just push it aside because it's real people's stories about what's actually happening in the workplace. And I'm going to be fighting for women's right to make her own decisions in reproductive health. And I'm going to be standing up for Planned Parenthood and not standing for these ferocious attacks. I am so grateful for the women who have come before me, men and women who have come before me, to speak up for my ability to be here today. I was a teenager when Jerry Ferraro was the vice presidential candidate. And do you know what that meant for a 12-year-old girl? She had this incredible infectious humor and just joy that she brought everywhere. And my older sister and I would sit in the back of our pickup truck and wave so we could be like Jerry Ferraro. You're not allowed to sit in the back of pickup trucks anymore, but when I was growing up in this farming community, this is the way that you connected. And so I will be there every day. And it's not just the issues that may seem like the obvious issues, but women's voices along with men's voices on basically protecting our water. Making sure that you can be sure that when your kid turns on the faucet, she's drinking safe water. And that means protecting us from fracking. And from toxic chemicals that are getting into our water, like in Hoosick Falls, right here in this district. So standing up to the big companies and making sure that they pay when they've made a mess, and they're straightforward and honest when something might be hurting us. Okay? John Faso, by the way, took cash from the Tennessee Gas Company, from fossil fuel companies, to be a lobbyist for the NED pipeline, which was stopped. And to be an advocate at meetings, basically being paid to be a voice for fossil fuel companies at meetings pushing for a fracked gas pipeline, the Constitution pipeline, going right through our district, taking away people's land. Got a pretty big difference here. And when I am in Congress, there's so many other small ways in which your voices need to be heard. I think it matters that less than 1 in 5 congressional representatives are women. Oh, yeah. Yes. I think it matters who is in the room. I want to be in the room where it happens. Any Hamilton fans here? But the main thing is I need all of you to be in the room where it happens too. Because I'm going to Washington to break down the doors of power, open those up, shatter glass ceilings, and break down the doors of power, not go and close the door behind me, but bring all of you along with me. I'm going to be the voice for educators who are getting crushed by high-stakes testing instead of the support they need. I'm going to be the voice for nurses who are getting overburdened by reporting requirements but not having the staffing levels they need. I'm going to be the voice for so many professions in which women overrepresent but are underheard in Washington. And it's going to be hard, which is why I need all of you to come along with me. This is the way I've always worked. You know, when I was working on fracking with the greatest grassroots organizers I've ever met, it was grassroots up that led to the fracking ban. That's how we deal with this historic moment, this crisis. It's people coming in together. The great opt-out movement in New York State.
Yeah.
That's bottom up. And that's already changed federal policy. And when they try to close the door in Washington and have negotiations about the next federal policy with the big hedge funders, we're going to keep that door open. Because we need teachers and parents in there.
Yep.
So these are the successes that we've already had in recent years. You know, as tough as it is, look at what's happened in the past few years. Federal education policy change. New York fracking policy change. Something is happening in America and it involves grassroots up. So, John Faso has on his side two New York City billionaires, each of whom have contributed $500,000 to his super PAC. They don't seem that excited about me being in Congress. Think about that, $500,000. I just want you to like pause for a minute and think about all those zeros.
Who are they? Can you tell me?
Yeah, Paul Singer and Robert Mercer.
And what did they get their money from?
We
won't support it.
Paul Singer has made his money as a vulture investor. So investing in debt in Argentina, and has in fact made the front page of the news recently because there's people are very unhappy about how he's engaged there. They all, they're making money also off of NAFTA, the sort of offshoring efforts, basically offshore jobs and then also offshore responsibility, so you don't have to pay any taxes. They're also big supporters of the privatization of education. So we have two New York City billionaires against the people of the district, of the people of the 19th district, and that's really what this is. You know, I'm running against John Faso, but we're really running against super PACs. We're really running against a deeply problematic culture where two men can put in $1 million and try to buy an election here. So it is about our voices against, super PAC voices, really. That's fundamentally what it is. And I know I can win. You said it wasn't, this half and half and half, like third.
Right.
Don't let anybody tell you this is a Republican district.
Oh, I don't believe that.
To be fair, it's not a Democratic district either. It is an independent district. People are going to make up their own mind, and they're going to choose each person who they are going to vote for up and down. And that independent spirit is fantastic, but that is why the people in this room are going to win this election with me. Because you're calling your 3 friends, or 30, means so much. I met a woman at a fair the other day who said, I'm a Republican, but I'm voting for you because Davey said so. So your personal calls, and you're telling your reason. For you it might be opt-out, for you it might be super PACs, for you it might be our drinking water, for you it might be supporting women in small businesses, for you it might be protecting our reproductive health rights, for you it might be because you want to see more women in Congress. You might have your own reasons, but you connecting because you care is how we are going to win this race. And we are not going to let those billionaires buy this race. So, are you ready?
Yes.
If you're with me, I will be with you. That is my promise. And the grassroots network that we are building now and today is not just about winning this election. It's about you telling me next year at this time, hey, wait, there's something wrong with, the water main just broke. And we need more investment here. Or I've got a question. Telling me what's happening so that we're creating a network in the deepest sense so that you can be part of this congressional race, not just in raising up your voices, but this congressional office in being the eyes and ears of what's happening throughout the district. So you guys are ready to go for a long time, I hope. So are you ready to phone bank?
Yes.
I need a little more, yes. Are you ready to door knock?
Yes.
I'm gonna try it again. Are you ready to phone bank? Yes. Are you ready to door knock?
Yes.
Are you ready to volunteer?
Yes.
Are you ready to mention my name very loudly when you're in Stewart's?
Yes.
Are you ready to tell people that I'm a person?
Yes.
A few people have asked me if I'm a company. or a plan for education. I'm like, well, I am a plan for education. And at a fundamental level, are you ready to reach into your own networks and tell them how important at this historic moment it is that we win this district for all of the people of the 19th, men and women?
Yes.
Thank you. Your voices really matter, and I am now going to join you in phone banking. But before I do, I want to do one last thing. Another place where women's voices are too often shut out is in campaigns themselves. I am so proud to have, I want to make sure you're all here. Kim? Oh no, did we lose her? Okay. Can you bring her in? And Alexa?
Kim's in the parking lot.
Okay. Alexa, could you come forward? Kim, Alexa, and Ellen are all my senior staff, not my whole senior staff, but Kim is my campaign manager. I am so proud to have Kim as my campaign manager. Alexa is my field director, and Ellen is my finance director. So we're practicing what we preach. And starting from the beginning, from the foundation of this campaign, both in our volunteers and in our strategy meetings, there are always going to be women's voices there. So I'm very proud to have that and to bring you all to Washington.
Thank you.